Alex's phone buzzed, then his laptop pinged, his tablet chimed, his smartwatch vibrated. 4 notifications in 12 seconds, a slow morning for a 23-year-old college student who lived in a hurricane of digital noise. Spotify on shuffle, YouTube autoplay running, Discord pinging constantly. Alex hadn't experienced genuine silence in 3 years. The last time his devices were all off, he was unconscious. And even then, his dreams were filled with notification sounds. But this constant noise came with a price. Alex's mind felt like a browser with 50 tabs open, scattered, overwhelmed, and always buffering. He couldn't remember the last time he had an original thought. Everything felt borrowed from the last video he watched or podcast he heard. His creativity had vanished, buried under layers of endless content consumption. One evening, sitting in his dorm room with 3 screens glowing around him, laptop, tablet, and phone, Alex felt an emptiness he couldn't name. Despite being more connected and informed than any generation before him, he felt completely lost. "Why can't I just think?" he wondered aloud to his empty room. Desperate for change, Alex started researching solutions online. Ironically, he was trying to solve his information addiction by consuming more information. That's when he stumbled upon a forum post about an old Japanese gardener who worked at the university's botanical garden. Students claimed this man had an unusual philosophy about work and life that had changed their perspective completely. Curious, Alex decided to visit the botanical garden. There, among rows of carefully tended plants, he found an elderly man named Hiroshi. The gardener moved with deliberate slowness, tending to each plant with complete attention. What struck Alex most was the silence. Hiroshi worked without music, without podcasts, without any digital companion. Just him, the plants, and the sound of his own breathing. "Excuse me," Alex approached hesitantly. "Are you the gardener everyone talks about?" Hiroshi looked up slowly, studied Alex's face, and noticed the young man's fidgeting hands and darting eyes. "You look like someone who's never met silence," the old man said gently. "When did you last sit with your own thoughts?" Alex realized he couldn't remember. Alex's mind raced with objections. What about important messages? What if something urgent happened? What about his productivity? Hiroshi watched the young man's internal struggle with patient eyes. "Your generation mistakes motion for progress, noise for productivity. You're so afraid of boredom that you've forgotten how to think." These words hit Alex like a revelation. He was indeed terrified of boredom. Against every fiber of his being, Alex agreed. The next morning, he arrived at the garden and surrendered his phone to Hiroshi, who locked it in a small wooden box. "This is your digital detox," the gardener explained. "Today, we plant seeds in silence." As they began working, Alex's hands shook slightly, not from cold, but from the unfamiliar absence of stimulation. The first day was agony. Alex's mind created its own noise, anxiety about missed notifications, imaginary urgencies, a constant mental buzz. He caught himself reaching for his pocket dozens of times. "This is torture," he complained to Hiroshi. "Good," the gardener replied. "You're finally meeting your own mind. Stay with the discomfort. It has something to teach you." By the third day, something shifted. As Alex knelt in the soil, planting small seedlings, his mind began to quiet. Without external input demanding his attention, internal creativity started to emerge. He began noticing things, the intricate pattern of leaf veins, the satisfying weight of soil in his hands, the rhythm of his own breathing. And then it happened, his first original thought in months. A solution to a programming project he'd been stuck on for weeks suddenly became clear. "I just solved something I've been struggling with for weeks," Alex told Hiroshi excitedly. The gardener smiled knowingly. "When did this solution come to you?" he asked. "Just now, while I was doing nothing," Alex realized. "Exactly. Your brain needs empty space to make connections. Constant input prevents processing. You've been consuming so much information that you had no time to digest any of it into wisdom." Over the remaining days, Alex discovered that boredom wasn't the enemy he'd imagined. It was a gateway. In the quiet spaces between stimulation, his mind finally had room to breathe, to connect disparate ideas, to create rather than just consume. His best insights came not during intense focus, but in the gentle, unfocused moments of simple, repetitive tasks. He realized he had been afraid of his own thoughts, his own company. By week's end, Alex was a different person. He moved more slowly, spoke more thoughtfully, and most importantly, felt comfortable in silence. His creativity had returned stronger than before. Ideas flowed naturally because he had created space for them to emerge. The most productive thing you can do, Hiroshi told him on the final day, is sometimes to do absolutely nothing. Boredom is where brilliance is born. Alex returned to his regular life, but with a new practice. Every day, he carved out 2 hours of complete silence. No devices, no input, just him and his thoughts. His grades improved, his creativity soared, and for the first time in years he felt truly present in his own life. He learned that in a world obsessed with constant stimulation, the most revolutionary act is simply being bored. If this story made you realize how long it's been since you sat alone with your thoughts, hit that like button. Your future creative self will thank you. Want more stories that challenge everything you think you know about success and productivity? Subscribe and join thousands of others who are discovering that sometimes the most counterintuitive advice is exactly what we need to hear. Tell me in the comments, when was the last time you were genuinely bored, and what happened during that moment? Your story might inspire someone else to embrace the power of emptiness.